I've recently discovered this routine that I do every single day. This isn't some, $1 million morning routine type of video. This is just a framework for how you should spend your mornings. This isn't a set routine. This is a framework of you can fill this with your own tasks. But this framework, this routine that I've been doing has allowed me to only work a few hours a day if I want to. I normally work more than that because I want to, but it becomes a choice after that. And once you do this, what I'm going to show you how to do in this video, you're only going to have to work a couple of hours a day if you want to. Like, unless you want to work more, but you'll get all the important tasks done ASAP. It could be in the morning, could be first thing in the morning, or if you have another job and you come home after work and you work on your business, then you could be getting this stuff done in just a couple of hours at night. But if you're already an entrepreneur or you work from home and you get all your stuff done in the morning before work, whatever the case is, you can get all this stuff done in just a couple of hours, if not maybe just an hour, because of what I'm going to tell you what to do in this video. And I'm going to tell you how I do everything. And, I obviously work for myself. So I wake up every morning and I get straight to this. And then if I want to, normally I cut it off at around 5. That's when I'll stop taking calls. And because, I can have all these tasks written down, but if someone books in a call at 4:30 and I finish these tasks that I wrote down at 11:30, I still have something I have to do later on in the day, but I cut all calls off at 5. So after 5, that's normally when I go to the gym. I'll get into the entire routine in a second, but I'll normally go to the gym after 5. And then after that, after the gym, that's kind of when I just let myself do whatever. Like if I want to watch Netflix, I'll go watch Netflix. If I want to play video games, I'll do that. I like to allow my brain to kind of go into chaos around that time. But anyway, let me get into, this, like I said, not a morning routine, $1 million morning routine, not another one of those videos, but it is a really good framework for you to use. And if, it's preferred to use it in the morning, if you're already an entrepreneur, or if not, you can use it to still, get your work done at the end of the day, or whenever it is that you're able to get your work done on your own business. Or maybe it's just you're using this to get better at your 9 to 5, whatever the case is. But here's basically what I do. So when I wake up every single morning, I got this from my friend Dennis. So shout out to you, Dennis, if you're watching this. He's actually one of my clients. But he told me about this I guess philosophy, but this routine that he does, where the night before he'll always write down the top 3 tasks that he wants to do the next day. Now, I don't keep it to 3. Mine's normally around like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 5 or 6 tasks every day. That's kind of like non-negotiable tasks. These are tasks that I know for a fact are going to move the needle. So to give you a few examples, let's say yesterday's tasks, they were record new ad for YouTube. So I wanted to record a YouTube ad so I could post that, run that ad and get more traffic. Record a new YouTube video, edit YouTube video, schedule videos. So it's kind of like, a lot to do with YouTube. But then I had a group call with my clients at 2. And that's where we go over YouTube strategy and helping everybody grow their channels and everything like that. So I had my group call at 2. I wrote that down on the paper. That's one of those things where no matter how quick I get done with the rest of my work, I just can't get done with the group call until that group call comes at 2. Then I had a few other calls, sales calls, at 9, one at 9, one at 1:30, one at 4, one at 4:30. So I had a bunch of calls yesterday, around 5 calls. And that's basically all the tasks that I have written down. Those are the needle moving tasks. Those are the tasks that I had to get done, the non-negotiable tasks. And then there's some other things that I'll do throughout the day as well. But I'll have these tasks written down, these 3 to 6 tasks that I know are needle movers and that I know are non-negotiables. And what I'll do is I'll wake up and literally like this notebook stays on my desk. Like this notebook stays right here all day, basically until after 5, until after I'm kind of just like chilling out for the day. And this notebook stays open right here on my desk so I can see the tasks all day. And my phone goes on airplane mode. So I wake up and I'll respond to, put out any fires. So I have some employees. If my employees are messaging me and they're like, this is going wrong, that's going wrong, or what do I do here? Then I'll help them out because I don't want to just hang them out to dry for hours, and not respond to them until like 12:30. But I'll respond to them. I'll check some, I'll open up the social media accounts just to get a gauge on what's going on, how many views the YouTube videos are getting. The ads are doing well on Instagram still. People are responding to messages for me in my DMs on Instagram, all that stuff. And, after that, I'm basically just putting my phone away. I keep it near me just in case. Like, I'm not going to go put it in another room or anything, but I put it on airplane mode. And That's for two different reasons. Number one, because we're addicted to our phones. And if I make it to where I can't use my phone until I get these tasks done, it'll allow me to get the tasks done quicker. Number two, it's a huge distraction. And if I have the phone near me and people are texting me, people are calling me, you know, that's going to be happening all day. Cause like I said, I have employees, like I'm running this business. If that is happening, then you know, I'm going to get distracted because, you know, texts are going to be coming in, calls are going to be coming in, all these things. So I have to keep that away from me, or at the very least on airplane mode. And that gives me a whole lot of productivity. That part came from my friend Dennis, you know, so shout out to him for that. But then also, I don't eat until after I'm done with my work. And that's not because I'm like punishing myself or like saying, you don't eat until you're finished with your work, like some abusive parent or something. That's because Charlie Morgan has stated this extremely well. You can either digest or you can work. And you'll notice, you might not notice this yet, but after you'll start to notice, you'll be conscious of it. Whenever you're digesting food, you get very tired. That's why people go into food comas and stuff like that. Or after they'll eat a big meal, especially a carb loaded meal, they'll get very tired. They'll get very, you know, drowsy, lethargic, and they definitely don't want to work. So I don't eat until after I'm finished with these tasks. Then once I'm finished with these tasks, well, also, you know, you're also a lot more, at least for me, I'm a lot more cognitively sharp before I eat. So I'm able to make decisions a lot quicker. My mental clarity is a lot better before I eat anything for the day, especially before I eat carbs. So I don't eat anything until after all these tasks are done. And at this point, like, I'm not really hungry in the morning. Like, there's no need for breakfast, in my opinion. I think breakfast is a psyop to make people overweight, personally. But I'm not even hungry in the mornings. So, and I used to eat like first thing when I wake up because we're psyoped into doing that. But I don't think we need to do that. And I don't do that for one reason, because it is motivation to go get food later on in the day when I do get hungry. Like, first I have to get these tasks done. But number two, I am a lot more, like I said, cognitively sharp before I eat. And then once I'm done with these tasks, so I'm working towards getting my phone off airplane mode. I'm working towards, you know, having access to food, but also I'm not distracted by my phone being on airplane mode. I'm not distracted by digesting food, because it takes so much energy to digest the food. And like Charlie Morgan says, you can either digest or you can work. You have to choose one or the other. It's tough to do both at the same time. It just is. And you might not think it is. You might be like, oh, this guy's crazy. But if you start to actually be conscious of it after you eat, you're a lot more lethargic, you're a lot more drowsy, your mental clarity is just not there. So I recommend at least, you know, fasting the first half of the day and then eating after, you know. And I'll kind of walk you through how I go about eating, because I don't immediately start eating a ton of carbs. But right after I'm finished with all these tasks, I'll get on my phone, put out any fires that's going on, if there are any. Hopefully there are none today. And then, you know, I'll allow myself, whenever I'm going to go on a run right after I'm finished with all these tasks, and I'll allow myself to listen to some kind of podcast. If it's just a normal day and my mental state is pretty good, you know, I'm in a good mood, which normally I am, you know. And by the way, I'll allow myself to listen to music throughout the day, you know, when I'm working on these tasks, but it's not like, you know, head banging music. It's not like we're jamming out. It's more like deep work music, you know, chill music to stimulate the brain without distracting you at all. And after I'm done with these tasks, I'm going to go for a run. On that run, I normally don't listen to, again, like jamming out music. I listen to either like lo-fi or just brain stimulation music, or I'll listen to a podcast related to what it is and I'm learning about. It's a really good time to learn when you're running. I feel like you can download a lot of information, but it's also a really good time to think. So if you can, I recommend that you run with nothing playing in your ear, because I come up with my absolute best ideas while I'm running. Even with stuff playing in my ear, I'll come up with great ideas, and I'll literally stop mid-run and write it down in my notes, because I'll forget if I don't. I do that all the time. You know, I'm always constantly writing things down in my notes on my phone, because I'm going to forget if I don't, and I'm tired of forgetting great ideas that I have. So I do that. And, you know, if I'm in a good mood, a normal mood, then I'll just listen to a podcast, trying to learn, listen to an audiobook, something like that. If I'm in a really stressful mood, if I had a stressful morning or just a tough day of calls, whatever the case is, then I'll listen to something that's more entertaining. So something that I feel it's either funny or it's just straight up entertaining. You know, it could be a funny podcast. I personally like to listen to or watch or listen to people react to music. You know, I used to shoot music videos and stuff like that, so I'm heavy into, like, you know, the rap scene and stuff like that. So I'll listen to people react to certain rap music that recently came out or something like that, something to just take my mind off of things for 30 minutes, 45 minutes. And, after that run, I'll come inside and that's when I'll finally eat. So that's when I'll finally have breakfast, I guess you could say. But I don't have much carbs. I try to avoid carbs as much as I can for that meal, because carbs are a lot more like they suck your energy a lot more than other foods. So like I was saying earlier, you can either digest or you can work. And whenever you eat carbs, it's a lot harder to work. You'll notice, and you might think I'm crazy right now, but start to consciously be aware of this stuff. Whenever you're eating carbs, after you eat carbs, it's a whole lot harder to focus than if you just eat like fats or you eat just meat, something like that. It's a whole lot more harder. It's a whole lot harder to focus when you eat carbs. So I try to avoid carbs in that first meal. And then, after that first meal, like Ty Lopez says this, he has a better way of putting it. I forgot what exactly he calls it, but there's basically 3 levels of work. I call them level 1, level 2, level 3. Level 1 is in the morning for me, because that's when everything's the most calm. That's when I'm completely by myself. Everything's peaceful. I have a dog who has very high energy. It's a German short-haired pointer. If anybody has one of those, then you understand what I go through. But she has very high energy, and in the morning she's really chill. So I have a lot of time to just sit and just work. That's what I call deep work or level 1 work. And that's when I'm just like completely locked in, no distraction, phone on airplane mode, no meals, no food in my stomach, nothing like that. Just completely locked in, getting all the non-negotiables done for the day. Then I go run, come back in, eat some food, not carbs though, just kind of break my fast, get my energy, get my fuel in, and so that I'm not hungry anymore. And then after that, I will just see what I have to do for the day. So I'll probably have some calls coming up that I have to take care of, or there's just some tasks that I can knock out, like check in on my ads, maybe check in on some automations that I have running, check in on my YouTube channels, whatever the case is, maybe even make some YouTube content. But it's not going to be super deep work, super non-negotiable tasks. It's going to be more like optional work at that point. And I'm also going to have my phone off of airplane mode at this point. So if texts do come in, I'm going to allow myself to be distracted a little bit. I'll have my notifications open. I'll have my Discord channel for my clients, my YouTube coaching clients. I'll have that open. So if they need anything, then I'm helping them out. Things like that. I'll allow myself to be a little bit more distracted. We call this level 2 work, or that's what I call it. And that's where I'm still working, but it's not the extreme non-negotiables. Now I'm working on things and allowing myself to be a little bit distracted. I'm introducing a little bit of chaos, but not full chaos. And what I mean by chaos is like not overstimulating my brain with music and, YouTube videos and all these things while I'm trying to work at the same time. It's extremely hard for your brain to handle all that stuff. So I don't do that, but I'm still allowing myself to be distracted a little bit by the different types of work that I have going on. So in the morning, I'm completely locked in level 1 work with no phone, no meals, nothing. Then in level 2, after I run, I have a meal in my stomach, I eat some food, I have some food in my stomach, my phone's off airplane mode, I'm responding to clients and things like that. And I'm getting some tasks done that is just kind of extra work. And then, after I do an hour or so of that, I'll take my dog to the park, let her run around a little bit, tire herself out, throw her some toys, just run around with the dog, just get out and kind of decompress a little bit. I think that's really important for me to do. The run does that a little bit, but being out there and just walking around, playing with the dog, that helps a lot as well for me and for her, because then we can come back, she's all worn out, she's happy, and she just lays down, goes to sleep. I can get even more work done. So I'll go take her to the park whenever I have a break in calls. I'll come back and, she's worn out. I'm feeling a lot decompressed. I'm feeling relaxed. She's going lay down and just chilling out. I'm able to knock out the rest of my calls. And now we're kind of going to get into level 3 work. So the calls that I come back from after taking my dog to the park, that's still, I consider that level 2, where my phone's off airplane mode, my Discord channel's open, so responding to my YouTube clients, all these things. And after that, like I said, I cut calls off at 5, so I'm not taking any calls past 5:30. And then I go to the gym right at 5:30 or right at 5, whenever the last call ends for the day, that's when I'm going to the gym. And at this point is when I kind of allow myself to go into level 3, which is basically just chaos. I allow my brain to go into chaos. So I listen to actual like jamming out music or whatever kind of podcast I want to. If I still want to listen to, podcasts that help me learn, then I'll do that. Or if I just want to listen to music and just completely just zone out, then I'll allow myself to do that. Basically, whatever I want to do at this point, that's what I'm going to do. But I am going to the gym. That's a non-negotiable. So I'm going to the gym to lift weights, listen to music in the gym, listen to podcasts in the gym, whatever I want to. And then after the gym, I basically just do literally anything that I want. So if I want to watch Netflix, then I'll watch Netflix. If I want to play video games, I'll play video games. If I want to, I don't know, continue to work, then I'll continue to work. And most likely, this is what I call level 3 work. So this will be extremely distracted work, where I'll respond to people, respond to employees, respond to clients, respond to DMs, maybe take some calls, send some voice notes, things like that, plan out some content. If ideas pop in my head, I'll plan out some content. Whatever the case is, but this is all going to be extremely distracted work. My brain's already going to be in the chaos. I'm not going to be able to be in extreme focus state like I am for level 1 work. So around this time, I'm just allowing myself to decompress. And what I find is this allows me to not burn out, because I'm very prone to doing that, where I'll just, if given the option, I'll literally just work all day, every day, and obsess over it and just hit a like extreme like burnout point. And I'll do that with literally anything. I've done that my whole life with video games. If I find a video game I really love, I'll literally just obsess over that video game until I get to the point where I absolutely hate the video game because I burnt out on it so much, and I don't even want to look at the game anymore. And I'll do that with work. I'll do that with literally anything. So what I find is, like, if I'm in deep work in the morning, then level 2 work, then level 3 work, and then I just allow myself to decompress by watching Netflix or playing video games, whatever, then it allows me to not burn out. It gives me something to look forward to throughout the day. And even on Sundays, like, Sundays are a complete level 3 day where I am going to work still, but it's going to be a chaos day. Like, I'm just going to chill out. I'm going to do whatever the hell I want to, unless it's like, it's crunch time. Like, I have a extreme task that I need to get done. If, sometimes we have in-person events, or maybe it's a content day where I'm filming a day in the life video or something like that. Then obviously it's going to be a work day. But, most of the time, if it's just a normal Sunday, I'm just taking the day off and just chilling. Level 3 work, I'm still going to get work done, but it's going to be a level 3 work. So, what allows this to be extremely productive for me is the mornings, is the level 1 work. And that's because most people are extremely distracted all day, every day by their phone. Most people are extremely distracted, believe it or not, by food. Having carbs in their stomach is making it extremely hard for them to focus because they're digesting and working at the same time. And it's just really hard to do that. So what I suggest is you have some kind of 2 to 3 hour block in your day, or it could even be an hour and a half to 2 hours, to just airplane mode your phone, put it in another room if you have to, and don't eat. In the morning, this works best because your stomach is, everything's digested through the night, and, you're able to really lock in when you don't have food in your stomach. But if you can't do it in the morning, I understand. So do it at night, or do it whenever you can. And this really allows me to not just get ahead of a lot of people because I'm distraction free in the morning, but also get a lot of work done in a short period of time. Like right now it's 10:11 a.m. and after this, so let's look at my daily tasks for today. Let's take a look at that. What I read to you earlier was yesterday. Today I had record, edit, upload YouTube video. So I have a couple of days. I'm trying to post daily, at least 5 days a week, daily during the week on this channel. I have a couple of videos already scheduled for the next couple of days. So record, edit, upload YouTube video. So I want to record this video, I want to edit it, I want to upload it and schedule it for a few days out. That's what I want to do right now. Then I have post 3 Instagram stories. I already posted one of those and it's 10 a.m. so it's still pretty early. Then I have prospect follow-ups. So I want to follow up with some prospects, some people who I think would be a great fit for my YouTube coaching program, who I recently had calls with, or whatever the case is. They're interested in joining, and I want to follow up with them because I think they'd be a great fit. So I want to follow up with those people. Respond to clients. So had a couple of clients message me late last night that they were having some issues. So I wanted to write that down as a non-negotiable and make sure that I get back to those people and make sure that they're making the right progress that they want to make with their YouTube channels. And I've actually already done that. I've had conversations with a few of them already this morning, and everything's back on track. They're, everything's good with them now. They understand the mistakes that they were making and they fixed them already. So we're good on that end, so that's great. I already crossed that out. Another thing that this list allows you to do is actually cross things out to give you the feeling of making progress. So crossing something out for the day, it feels great. Still to this day, after doing this for a while, it feels great. It just does. So we have record, edit, upload YouTube video, post 3 stories, prospect follow-ups, respond to clients, and then sales calls. So I had a few calls today not too many calls booked today, which is a good thing because yesterday was extremely busy in terms of calls. So today we just had a 9 to 9:30 call. That one was actually a no-show. And then I have another one coming up at 1 to 1:30. So only 2 calls today, which is great because I do have something to do after 5 today that I have to, have an obligation. So it's good that I can knock a lot of things out throughout the day and not have calls get in the way of that. But so far, I've posted one story. I need to follow up with some prospects still, but respond to clients is already crossed out. Now, obviously, I'm still going to respond to them throughout the day, but that was today a non-negotiable that I had to do when I woke up because they had a couple, like I said, a couple of them messaged me late last night, and they're obviously my number one priority. They're paying money to get inside of my coaching program, so I need to make sure that they get the results that they desire. So that's obviously my top priority. And then record, edit, upload YouTube video. I'm doing that right now. So right after this video, I'll go ahead and edit it, upload it, and make sure it's scheduled for the right day. And then boom, we're done. And I can go for a run. I can go eat a meal. And then after that, I'll take a call. And then once that call is over, I'll probably take my dog to the park, and then maybe immediately after go hit the gym. And then, like I said, I have some obligations that I'll do later on in the day. But hopefully this helped you out. Hopefully you can start following this routine of, level 1, level 2, level 3 work. I think it works really, really well, at least for me. And it works really well for a lot of very successful people like Charlie Morgan, like Tai Lopez and these guys. So this has worked really well for me, and hopefully it'll work really well for you. I highly suggest you at least give it a try, at least test it out. I understand that certain, a lot of people have jobs, have day jobs that they have to go to. You could even try it for those jobs if you want to. But if you can't, give it a try at some time in the day, maybe even on a weekend day, try it out on a Saturday morning or something. Like I said, what this allows me to do is get more work done in a couple of hours than most people get done in an entire day. What I've realized is however much time you give yourself to get things done, that's how long it's going to take. So before, I would give myself just like 8 hours throughout the day. So I would wake up around 8-ish. And then give myself, I guess this is 9 hours, but I give myself to around 5 p.m. when I cut calls off to get everything done for the day. I wouldn't have this level 1, 2, and 3 work. I would just kind of go run whenever I could. There was no real structure to the day like I have now. And what I realized is it took from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. to get all my work done. Now that I have this structure where it's deep work in the morning until I get these tasks done, I cannot look at my phone. I can't eat. I have to go run and get these tasks done before I can do those things. Now I get everything done in like a couple of hours, unless I have calls booked in the morning, then everything gets done in a couple of hours. So this is a great way of going about things, not another one of these $1 million morning routine things. This is kind of personalized to each person. So hopefully this video did help you out. Hopefully it gave you some insight into how I do my work, and hopefully it gave you some value on how you can start doing your work to get more done in a shorter amount of time. So hopefully this video helped you out. If you did like the video, I'd appreciate it if you liked, subscribed, all that stuff. And also, if you're interested in getting coaching on growing on YouTube and going full-time on YouTube, making a lot of money from the YouTube platform, you can go ahead and book a call with the top link in the description. I've taken a ton of people from working their 9-to-5 jobs to going full-time on YouTube, taking a lot of people to make 30, Dennis recently hit 36K in a month. Yeah, Lou, who hit 40K a month. And he's been doing 30K a month for a long time too. So, there's a lot of money to be made on the YouTube platform. If you're interested in that, go ahead and book a call with the top link in the description, or you can shoot me a DM over on Instagram. Either way, I'd appreciate if you left a like, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I hope to see you on the next one.